In this video, we'll talk about a new executive order that was signed just this week. It's called Executive Order on Aligning Federal Contracting and Hiring Practices with Interests of American Workers. This one is supposedly protecting American workers. Let's see how it's going to impact immigrants. Let's see how it's going to impact work visas. Stay tuned, and I'll see you on the other side. Hello everybody. In this video, we'll talk about the new executive order that was just signed this week, specifically protecting U.S. workers. Different things that are in this executive order are concerning for foreign workers, specifically on H-1B visas. So we'll talk about that as well. And also, we'll talk about how this executive order is going to impact the processing times of green cards in different EB categories. But before that, if you're here for the first time, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Click that bell to be notified. We produce videos every single week. And also give us that big like. This way YouTube is going to be able to share this video with other people that are interested in this content. Once again, my name is Jacob Sapochnik, and I'm an immigration attorney here in San Diego, California. And I practice immigration in all 50 states. And I'm excited to give you the news. Every time something new happens, I want to be the first to deliver that news to you guys. So let's talk about this executive order. I have a copy of this order right here, and we can read from it a little bit and also kind of go through the main things that are concerning specifically for immigrants that are watching this video and they've been waiting for that information. So as part of this executive order is specifically calling for the different federal agencies, requiring them to review their contracts and specifically see whether they are, have any connections with any foreign labor, and specifically if they have contracts with companies that employ H-1B workers. Very interesting. And also, in addition to that review that they require from these agencies to see if they have contracts with H-1B workers in the U.S., they also want to see if they have any contracts with overseas employees that are connected to these companies. So that's another interesting point in this executive memo, and we'll see why and what is the point of actually having that in there. Another point that is important to know that this is not an immediate executive order. It's going to start from about 45 days from now, and who knows, maybe it's going to take longer for this to be implemented. But it's really important to understand that unlike other executive orders, this is not an immediate impact, and it will take effect probably in about 45 days from now. And of course, I'll keep you posted. So one of the most interesting parts of this executive order, specifically as it applies to foreign workers currently in the United States going through the H-1B process or the green card process. Let's read Section 3 of this executive order, and I'll put it right here on the screen. Measures to prevent adverse effects on United States workers. Within 45 days of the date of this order, the Secretaries of Labor and Homeland Security shall take action as appropriate and consistent with applicable law to protect United States workers from any adverse effect on wages and working conditions caused by employment of H-1B visa holders at job sites, including third-party job sites, including measures to ensure that all employers of H-1B visa holders, including secondary employers, adhere to requirements of Section 212N of the Immigration and Nationality Act. The point here is that the USCIS and the Labor Department, which are federal agencies, are giving a very, very broad power to look at applications and see whether they need to review them further or take any further action, which in my opinion will cause even further delay to a system that is already severely delayed. So this is really, really concerning because that's a broad power that these agencies are given to review cases. And of course, if they have any reasons to think that certain of these cases are affecting U.S. workers, they probably will pull those cases to audits or probably very, very lengthy processes of adjudication that will make this even a more painful process for those that are going through these visa processes. Part of this executive order is that all the agencies that are reviewing all these data are given about 120 days to provide a report, to submit it to the president, to determine whether any of these conditions are affecting U.S. workers. So again, this is just gives too much power to these agencies to make these kind of determinations, because again, based on that data, based on those recommendations, the government is going to take steps towards probably limiting H-1B visa, limiting probably the duration of visas, but most specifically, I think it's going to impact the whole labor certification process, specifically the recruitment process, fighting for green card, the time it takes to get a labor certification approved, and also, of course, if labor certifications are going to take longer to be adjudicated, of course, it's going to impact also the immigration process of those people that are waiting, and kind of like a domino effect. If you're not able to file for your I-140 and 485 on time, then essentially you're stuck in limbo. What if you lose your job? What if the company is going to shut down? A lot of foreign employees are going to be essentially put in limbo, waiting for some sort of a report from an agency to make a decision whether their actions are impacting U.S. citizens, workers in the United States. So this is essentially an executive order that was kind of not so much advertised anywhere in the media, but I think it's important to understand the significance of this particular executive orders. And if you look at the first and second proclamation, they had provisions there where they were specifically saying that the government is going to continue to review certain visas, certain processes, specifically referring to H-1B visas and other related visas that are, in their mind, impacting U.S. citizen workers. So this particular executive order is focused specifically on the fact that the U.S. government and agencies that are involved in hiring, in labor, in working with companies that hire H-1B workers should be looking at their operation, examine whether any of these activities are impacting U.S. citizens, and if so, take specific measures. Again, we don't know what kind of measures they'll be taking. It is important to understand that this is not taking effect right now. They're going to take about 45 days before they implement it, but it just gives us a hint that they are looking, whatever they're doing right now, all their actions are designed to put some fear, anxiety, and concern into foreign workers that are currently working, that are already delayed with their visas. They're already increasing the fees on H-1B visas. As you know, I reported that in a video a few days ago. H-1B visas are increased by 75%, or the cost of finding an H-1B visa. Now with this executive order, if they're going to start to review certain companies that are working with contractors, they didn't specifically say what is the limit, to what extent a contractor is considered to be involved with a company, which companies are going to be targeted or reviewed. So it's just very, very broad. It gives them a lot of authority, a lot of power to do things, and puts our labor market, our foreign labor market, at fear. So it's kind of all connected. The fee hikes, the further review. Do they have a limit on how much they're going to be able to delay these labor certifications, green card cases? We don't know yet. So again, I don't think it's really necessarily a positive sign, but it's good to be aware of it. It's good to be prepared. And of course, I'll keep you posted once I have more information about this executive order and when it's going to be implemented. Just kind of keep in mind that it's happening. It was signed, and specific focus on Labor Department, EB cases, EB2, EB3, and H-1B workers that are being currently working either with government agencies or projects that are related. So I'll keep you posted. I'll put a link to the executive order in the description of this video. And once again, if you have questions, please post them in the comments below. Also, if you're here for the first time, do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Click that bell to be notified so you'll know every single time we release a video or when we go live. I try to do that at least once a week. And finally, I wanted to remind you that we have a private Facebook group where we share information, first look at videos, private discussions with members, make sure you subscribe to our Facebook group. Again, the link is in the description of this video. So once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.